Hello, posers. The Black and White Delight is back, bringing you the award-winning, critically acclaimed Wrestling Revolution review of Smackdown. For the past 8 months, I've been buried underneath my own house. Right here, buried underneath. And every week I had to listen to Bobby Black's Smackdown reviews, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't pretty. I don't know why you guys stayed subbed. Crying out loud. The guy's an incompetent moron. Anyway, don't need this anymore. Yes, Crazy Pretzel did wake up before me, and he did bury me under my own house. However, I am back. I am black. And I'm stacked. Anyway, a couple announcements I'd like to make. We have a new game coming up on WrestlingRevolution.com, and just plan on me making an impact more on that website. The Fantasy Brand Warfare, which is going to be a couple Revolution staff members, and they're just going to have a fantasy draft at WrestleMania, and then we're going to have, you know, a game throughout the year with points and kind of like a fantasy draft football, I guess, or a fantasy team, whatever you want to call it. Pay-per-view predictions start. Contest starts WrestleMania night, so start posting your predictions now for the matches that have been announced. Bobby Black and all of the Revolution staff did a blog talk radio on The Rock and John Cena. Apparently Bobby Black is super against The Rock going in at WrestleMania, but I don't know. He still has to convince me. I mean, I've been sitting here listening to him the whole time. And go to WrestlingRevolution.com, the center for all your wrestling needs. Anyway, that's it for all my stupid announcements. I'm back. Let's jump into Smackdown.
Get ready for the Smackdown! Get ready for the Smackdown! How you gonna react when you put on your back now? 'Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the Smackdown!
This week's Smackdown is in my backyard of Seattle, Washington. We start off with an in-ring promo where Sheamus talks about his first WWE Championship run, where he says that he's a heel and it corrupted him and blah 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 whatever. He was a heel, now he's a face. At least he acknowledged it. Sorry, people Skyping Bobby Black. Alright, well, but that leads into, well, after Sheamus gets done talking about that, Vicky Guerrero and Dolph Ziggler come out, and they poke fun at Sheamus. Teddy Long comes out and says, hey, let's make a match! Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. It's like, well, we kind of figured, because they're both ready to compete. I mean, you figure if you're going to try to sell this being a last-minute match, I mean, I understand Sheamus being ready to compete because he's SmackDown brand, but Dolph Ziggler's Raw brand, you figure he'd probably be dressed in casual clothes. So if I was sending Dolph Ziggler out there, I would be putting him in casual clothes, having to wrestle in casual clothes, because he, you know, he probably doesn't expect to compete because he's from Raw. Anyway, first match of the night, Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. I gave it 4 out of 5 Black Rangers. I really thought this was a great match, probably match of the night. Vicky and Jack Swagger got involved. Jack Swagger got a bro kick to the face when he tried to interfere. But in the end, Sheamus reversed the zigzag or a sleeper, whatever he was trying to do, into the Finley's Celtic Cross, or I can't remember what they're calling it now. Irish Curse? No, that's the backbreaker. I don't know. Anyway, but it's Finley's Celtic version of the Celtic Cross. So, yay. Next up, we have a backstage segment with Teddy and Johnny Ace, and Johnny Ace wants an apology from Teddy Long, and Teddy basically kicks him out. Second match of the night, which is Santino versus Heath Slater. I gave this 2 out of 5 Yellow Rangers. This is an match. It was an undercard match, but it didn't really strike any bad chords. It didn't strike any good chords with me, so yeah, I think it could have gone a little bit longer. In the end, Santino hits a Cobra on Heath Slater on the top rope, and he pins him. which Cobra is probably one of the worst finishing moves ever, next to the Rock Bot or the People's Elbow and the Attitude Adjustment. Next, we have another backstage segment with Eve and Natalya, where Eve says that she would use Zack, but at least she's honest about it, which she was lying about it originally. And then Natty farts. Now, I'm going to take just 1 second here. WWE, why? In the 8 months I've been gone, what, you can't find some other gimmick for Natalya? I mean, really? You do this fart gimmick? It's terrible! Which leads into the third match tonight, which is Natalya versus Eve. I gave this 2 out of 5 Pink Rangers. This match actually started pretty good, and Eve was actually semi-impressing me in this match, but it was too short of a match. They need to let these girls go for a little bit longer, and they actually might have had a good match here. Next, we have an in-ring promo with Cody Rhodes, and yeah, Cody Rhodes, and he basically keeps making fun of the Big Show's WrestleMania moments, like, you know, his sumo wrestling match and his Floyd Money Mayweather match, and apparently he was going to debut another one, but we never got to see it because the Big Show came out, and Cody hightails it into the crowd. But that leads into, well, Teddy comes out and then he says that it's going to be Show versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. I want to be not the only person, but I want to state my fact that I am not for this whatsoever, only because I think it should have been Cody versus Goldust in the IC title match, retirement match. Like, Goldust would be like, you know, no matter what happens, I'm retiring, but I want to go out with a bang at WrestleMania for the IC title, even if Goldust wins. However, I'd want them to put Cody over. Goldust may lose, but he's retiring. He would have a great match with his brother. I mean, we all saw in the past couple years when Goldust has been back, he can still wrestle pretty decently. So I think they really should have done that, and they blew they killed that. Also, the other one was I wanted to see was Big Show versus Shaq. Yes, this would be another celebrity match that the Big Show would be involved in, but Big Show versus Shaq would be interesting for me to see. The sumo wrestling match, I didn't care too much for. Floyd Money Mayweather, didn't really care too much for that either. Shaq versus Big Show, I'd be interested in seeing that. Anyway, so that leads into our fourth match of the night, which is Mark Henry versus the Big Show. I gave it 2 out of 5 Red Rangers. The match started off really good. These guys did a really good job at brawling back and forth. These guys work really well together, but it just the match was too short. There wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't booked right, I don't think. I think that they kind of made this a throwaway match. After the first break, Cody Rhodes joins on commentary, which, you know, Cody Rhodes and Booker T are always going at it, so of course this was mostly an argumentative commentary match, which drives me nuts. But towards the end of the match, Big Show kicks out of a World's Strongest Slam, and then Big Show hits a Weapons of Mass Destruction on Mark Henry as Mark Henry's running towards Big Show in the corner. He just pops him in the face, and then it takes like 5 minutes to pin him, and then gets the 3. The match just didn't flow right. I don't think it was booked right, and I don't know. I just think these two can do so much better than what they're giving them credit for. Speaking of bad commentary, you have to check out Bobby Black and Jerichoholic's commentary on the first in a series called The Worst Matches in History, Volume 1, which is Batista versus the Great Khali in the Punjabi prison match. Terrible match. But Bobby Black and Jerichoholic actually make it entertaining. I'll put a link in the description box. Check it out. It's an awesome little vid. And there's more to come, by the way. And there will be more done by other Revolution staff members. Like, we've talked about DH Jerichoholic doing one. Grimm and Block are doing one. I do believe they're doing one on, I think it's like the Dog Kennel from Hell match or something like that. I don't know, but you've got to see it. It's probably going to be terribly hilarious. Alright, so we have a backstage segment with Randy Orton. He says that he's going to make Daniel Bryan pay. Blah, blah. Match 5 of the night, which is Drew McIntyre versus Justin Gabriel. I give this 1 out of 5 White Rangers. I'm sorry, this was a short, terrible, poorly booked match. And I see why this match was so short, and I'll get to that next. But the stipulation was if Drew McIntyre loses, he's fired. So Drew, of course, loses via the 450 splash by Justin Gabriel, and Teddy comes on the Titantron and fires Drew McIntyre. Now, the reason why this match was so short, because we had to have a 20-minute interlude or whatever of The Rock and Cena on Monday. They play the whole freaking thing. They play the whole Rock part. Cena comes out for 2 minutes and puts The Rock in his place, and then Rock finishes it off. They played the whole thing, 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes you could have given to Natty and Eve. That's 20 minutes you could have given to Drew McIntyre and Justin Gabriel. That's 20 minutes you could have given to Mark Henry Big Show. That's 2 minutes you could have given to Santino and Heath Slater. You could have broken it up into 5-minute increments and gave each match 5 more minutes. But no, you had to sit there and you had to like play this whole like Rock Cena thing. Everybody saw it on Raw. If someone's watching SmackDown, more than likely they saw it on Raw. Why do you waste our time with this? You're taking time away from good matches to recap what happens on Raw. Really? People want to see it that bad, they'll go to YouTube. Heck, put it on your YouTube channel. Your new YouTube shows or whatever. This is what drives me nuts about SmackDown, is that it's treated like the B-list show, so they have to advertise everything for Monday Night Raw, so SmackDown kind of gets the shaft. Anyway, sorry, let me get off my high horse here. Next, we have a backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and AJ. Daniel Bryan says that he's a role model to fans, and he's going to beat Orton tonight or something. I kind of tuned out. 6th match of the night in the main event, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. I give it 2 out of 5 Green Rangers. This was also an match. These two worked pretty well together. I can't complain too much about them. But in the end, Orton was going to go for an Orton DDT off the apron. However, Kane came out and got Daniel Bryan disqualified because he attacked Randy Orton. So now we're building towards a Kane-Randy Orton match at WrestleMania, which I'm not too disappointed with, but it's just like, really? You're going to interrupt this main event? I mean, you can tell the show's not going to get too much of, not a very good rating whatsoever, but it's like, really? I mean, I don't know. And Kane just beats the living mess out of Orton. And then he grabs a microphone and he welcomes Orton back to SmackDown, or welcomes him back to television, and then walks off. Laurinaitis and Otunga are in the back, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, Kane, if he's, you think that's destructive? Wait till you see what I do to SmackDown next week." And he's gonna put Kane in a match against Oksana, is what he said. I'm like, what? You're gonna put Kane in a match against a woman? Really? We're really gonna go down this path? Because Laurinaitis is going to be in charge of SmackDown next week, so we'll have to see how that works. What did I give the night as a whole? I gave it a 2 out of 5 Blue Rangers. I'm feeling generous because I just unburied myself from 80 feet from my tomb that Crazy Pretzel buried me in. But it was just over a 2. If the opening match was a 3, this would have been a 1. But the opening match, Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, was really good. It got 4 out of 5 Black Rangers. Just before I take off here, I just want to thank everybody for staying subbed to this channel. In the break from Bobby Black over the past couple months, he's had to take some time off. I'd like to thank everybody for staying subbed since I've been here, because Bobby Black he's just a droning idiot. So I'd like to thank everybody for sticking with it. Expect more SmackDown reviews from me up through WrestleMania and beyond. I know a lot of people are talking about taking breaks after WrestleMania, and you know what, I'm back up till WrestleMania and beyond. So, well, that wraps it up for this week's edition of SmackDown. I am Grumpy Cheeto, and I am